So if you can get your hands on one of these, it's definitely better than using a pile of books. Hi everyone, I'm Niamh, and today I'm going to talk to you about some of my hacks and how you can make your first documentary film. I was going to say I was trying to like this. I think the most inspirational film for me was Cleo Bernard's The Arbor, which is a documentary that uses fiction to toy with ideas about the truth. I was blown away by what documentary could be. One of my favorite books is this one, Order in Chaos. It's a book about how to edit documentary stories, and I use it as a resource every week. When I'm lost, I go to this book. This is another influence. This is Don McCullin. He is a photojournalist, and I saw his exhibition in Liverpool, and I was in his exhibition for 3 hours, and I was so mind blown of the work that he managed to capture. Sorry, I'm just gonna sit. The first film I ever made was in my last year of university, and it was a video essay, and I thought this would be the easiest film to make. And I was really wrong. It was really hard. I had no clue what I was doing, but it was doable on zero budget. A video essay is essentially, I feel like it can be many things, but the way I did it was I gathered loads of archival footage, and archival footage is typically stuff that you've not shot yourself. So what I did was I gathered all this archive and made a film with zero budget by using sort of screen recordings as a way to film. And I also did shoot myself, narrating alongside the video essay. So it was a combination of both those things. This side? Yeah? Okay. So this is a Canon 80D. This is the first camera that I ever used to try making a film. It's really handy because when you're filming yourself, you can pull out this little screen and turn it around. So when you're filming yourself, you can see yourself. This is a photography camera, but it has a film setting on the front here. So I just tested it out. And to be honest, I didn't have any mics. I didn't have any other equipment. I just used the inbuilt mic in the camera itself. I also used this small camera. I don't know which version it is, but it was the cheapest one that was on Amazon. I think it was 20 or 30 pounds. And it's got a really unusual fish eye lens on it. I also recommend using webcams. That was another thing that I had already. This is a mini zoom, which is sort of what we call a lav mic, which you hook up to your contributor, the person you're filming. This was a better piece of kit in my opinion for documentaries. I would sometimes use on my phone voice memos, and I would just do my voiceover. Hi, my name's Niamh, I am 24. Hi, my name's Niamh, I am 24. And it's a really easy and cheap way, a free way to record sound. You can play with the distance. Far away, it provides a different perspective, so utilize what you have. I used lamps in my bedroom, so I had a Himalayan rock salt lamp that gave off a really interesting color. I used my PC monitor to have a really interesting eerie glare on my face. So when you're stretched for budget, just think about the different things that you could use. I use Premiere Pro to edit my video essay because I think it was free with my university. So sometimes if you ask your universities or your colleges, they have deals with these companies. There was one bit that I noticed in the sound, which I remember being a massive problem, and it was the plosives. If you're Penelope Cruz or Peter Piper, the air that hits your mic makes it sort of pop. I didn't realize that at the time, and I was like, what is wrong with this mic? But it was too close. So that was something that I couldn't fix in the edit. I tried to, but it's more of a recording thing. There's so many learning curves that you learn, so don't worry if you get something wrong. You learn by failure, right? This is a bit random. So the thing that I wish that I used when I was younger is definitely a tripod. They are so important. Once you get into the industry, get used to working with them from a younger age. I used to use stacked books because I didn't have a tripod, right? I wish I had a tripod when I was younger. Is that okay? Okay. The best piece of advice I would give my younger self, no one really knows what they're doing, the beginning at least anyway. People who are at the top of their game are still learning how to make films, so don't worry about not knowing. There's no right or wrong to this stuff. You truly only learn by making mistakes and realizing what you've done wrong. Honestly, the best films are about the story and not the equipment that you use. The quicker you start building a portfolio, the better chances you have at getting into the industry, in my experience.